Hello, I've decided to do some turbo ciders in the garden. Now, I don't know why I've decided to do that, maybe it's better light, maybe try and do something different for once, but I was down my local pound shop today. Excuse the music, that's for me. There'll be some music or some noise coming from kids over the back, no doubt, but this was in my local pound shop, but it wasn't a pound, it's a litre, and they wanted 75 pence for it. I've not seen it before, so I thought I'd give it a go. I haven't even looked inside, so it's probably, apple juice is apple juice. So I bought 8 of those because I'm going to do 2 sets of turbos now. Also, whilst in the pound shop, albeit not a pound shop, it's a 99p store. So then, I've not done a strawberry brew before, but they're made in Spain, and on the side of it is all pretty good stuff. So strawberries, yep, water, yep, sugar, definitely, acid regulator, which is going to be citric acid, which is fine, and colour, elderberry concentrate, which is great because at the moment I'm a bit into my elderberries. We've been picking elderberries, elderflowers, and making some cordial, and I've got a big brew on the go with apple juice as well as the flowers. Hopefully it'll be good. Now, the other one I've got is, I don't know if this is going to work, might not work at all, but these things, I've been drinking a number of these at work, so I've managed to find a source to buy them myself. I quite like the flavour, so I'm going to go and put, I think 8 of those in the brew. Great colour as well, so we'll see how it goes. So I shall stop this video and drink a little bit of that down there and be back. Now I should probably come back there because I've just noticed this. This is a beaker which I've got some water in there, which is, my thermometer tells me 40 degrees. Now that I always think is a bit high, but on the back of this thing, there you go there, this is an EC1111111118. I'm going to use that for one of these brews. I've got some liquid yeast, which is the 775, going to go in the other one, but I'm not really sure which one's what or what I'm going to put it in yet. But I'm going to make this one up because this one says place it in a beaker to hydrate it for 15 minutes and then give it a stir, and then you can add it to your musto or your must. So pretty much your TC. So obviously in the garden, try not to be contaminating things. I know you're not seeing that. It's all very boring, isn't it? He's cutting the top off of a yeast. There you go. If you haven't seen yeast, you've probably never made anything before, but there you go. Tip it in. I'm not going to stir it because the idea is to hydrate, and we'll just tip that over the top. There you go. Keep some of the bits out. So, right, how am I going to do this? Well, first of all, I need to do an extra bit of cleaning. So, star sand. You can see that. So, inside and out. So, if you've not used star sand before, it's a rinse-free cleaner, sanitizer, which pretty much froths up, foams up, coats everything, and it's acid based, so it's always quite handy for the yeast. The chap who made this said that if you left this in, the yeast will just quite happily eat it up, so it will help as a nutrient for yeast. But that's where we're going with that. On the floor. So, incidentally, this is just well, that's a litre bottle of sort of fizzy drink, and that is a plant sprayer from the 99p shop. And inside is the tiniest of tiniest amounts of star sand because it goes a very long way. Right. Giving me fungal a little bit of a clean up. Shake. Tip it on. Now, What should I start with? I shall start with the strawberries. So, just to be on the safe side, give them a little spray. There you go. A little white. We don't know what's been standing up on top of these things and where they've been. It's like you should never drink it out of a bottle, really. I've seen it where they sprayed fungicide on crates. I think it happened in America actually a little while ago, and lots of people were very ill because it was fungicide in their Coca-Cola, and they was just chipping the lid and eating it. So, right, I'm going to open this. You don't want to watch me do this, so I'll be back in a second. The lid's off. They'll go in there, or not, and I'll take one of these skewers to give it some assistance. This is a bit deja vu, isn't it, Mr. Lake? So, this time it's with strawberries. But they seem to be a little bit softer, so... Well, just hook that one out. Put it on top. Wow. No surprise, but they do taste like strawberries. Very nice too. So, you can listen to the music now. And yes, you're right, the t-shirt says sea lions on the shirt, so not 3 lions, it's sea lions. Should have just blended them in the tin, but they're going through quite well. Almost done. Come on. Last one. There you go, right, so that's that done. We don't need those, they can go somewhere else. Now, juice. Okay. Try not to swap it around too much. I'm multitasking there. I should show you something. This is something I used to do with my, not this type of lid. I'm not generally used to buying such posh lids for my juice used. I normally buy the ones that look pretty much like that. But what I do, a bit of a production line on, I pull all the bottoms out, and then you'd get that like that. So I would do it as I would do it. Cut the end off. Bear in mind I'm generally doing this in a big bucket. You put that like that, and you just snip the bottom off. And obviously you give it a little squeeze, and it just falls out. No squeezing required. You're not creating any vacuums in there, so maybe that's the top tip. So, last one. Way you did it before. A vast improvement in flow. Now, so that's 3. Now this is where I normally leave my TCs. Is at 3. So what I'm going to do, give my fungal a quick spray up. I must say, this is the beauty of Star Sand. It's no rinse, done. Now, in there, there's a number of items. And just to stop the nasties getting into the garden. So that's it. So, yeah. Not a wonderful shot, but yeah, it's in there. I haven't quite finished with that. So I'll just move on to the second one. Again, Star Sand. I've already put some Star Sand on these and given them a good clean. I tend to keep them nice and clean before or once I've used them, so they're all nice and easy to clean and ready to go next time. So yeah. See, that's what it does. It coats, and that's probably the easiest thing you can do. Just give it a shake, and that's. It's got. You can smell. There's a slight lemony to it. It's acid. You can smell. And if you taste it, you'll know it's acid. If you haven't got man hands, you might have to wear gloves because obviously being acid, it will eat into you, but it's not going to kill you. Something you should know: if you do keep it in contact with plastics, you'll notice that the plastic itself will change colour. It will go white, very milky. Now, as it was explained to me, if you imagine you're holding a bunch of straws, that is what plastics under the microscope look like. Lots of lines of straws. What happens is the acid gets in amongst the cracks, and capillary action pulls it all in, and it makes it look a bit milky white. And you will actually feel as well sometimes Star Sand, if it's been left for a long time in a bucket, slightly slimy, and that's pretty much what's happening. But hey, don't panic. So now it says it's no rinse. The idea of the foam as well is that if you're making anything, it's that way up, as you fill up the liquid, these bubbles they'll sit on top and they'll actually coat the edges. So as the fluid goes up, it will start to sanitise. But pretty done a good job here, and that's pretty much all you want to do. So I shall get the funnel, shake it off, and pour the juice into here. I won't let you watch that one because that would be very boring. But bear with me. Whilst pouring it, I just thought to myself, I haven't actually tasted it, so let me just. It doesn't look much different, but I don't know if it's just because being in the garden, it was particularly dark. Quite nice. Flakes, well, nice smell coming off of it. So, let's get that in there. I'm just going to hold the rock back because I'm going to need some just to swill out the yeast. So, it's really quite deep. It's a bit like sherry. Which makes me think, wow, that doesn't taste like the normal. So, this could be interesting. It really feels quite thick. Very refreshing. Very refreshing. Sort of refreshing. Where's my bottle opener? Has that got a bottle opener on it? I know. Bear with me a second. I happened to see one of these today. I'm sure it's not the original, but that one. I see it and I thought I'd give that a bash. I don't think it's got any fake sugars in it either, which is good for me. Oh, it's certainly got lemons in it. Right, okay. So that is our apple juice in there. I'm going to put that back in there. Should have given it a rinse beforehand, but now Strings. What do we do with strings? Well, we'll take the foil off and we'll just bang them in there like that. So I'm going to put 8 of these bags in there. I don't actually think there's any tea in here at all. But if you know, let me know, because it's going to be one hell of a tanning tea. So that's 3. I hope you're not learning anything at the moment, because you can all do this. You don't go too off the wall, but hey, strawberries in apple juice, that's fairly off the wall, isn't it? Some would say that's wine. That's what's going in there. And I'm not sure you're going to get the colour come through on this, because it is, as I say, it's quite dark, but we'll see, because you can actually, I don't know if you can see that. You can actually see, because it's quite a red, it's almost pink, this stuff, when it comes out. I can actually see it leaching from it. But hey, now most of my latest brews have been sugar free, so pretty much only what's in there. I'm not going to show you here because I'm going to do all of that indoors, is take the readings of it. It's generally going to be about 1040 to 10, I think 1060, if that. Wouldn't be anything near that really. This one might be a little bit higher, but and the brews that have been coming out, they are fantastic, I must say. All of these additions of sugar have been a bit pointless, but if you like a heavier one, that's good. Every now and then, one that you're going to keep, you're going to have a bit more alcohol in, but as I say, I tend to drink mine after about a month, so there's no point worrying about that. Once I've got my stocks back up, I might do a few more heavy brews and put them to one side for Christmas. Something, whilst I got my nose over that, it smells like I would say it's like one of those breakfast bars that you get with like the jam in the middle. So if you like them or not. Yeah. Those Kellogg's, I don't know who made them. Those look like soft biscuit around the outside with a lump of jam going through the middle. Anyway, I'm going to put that on there. I'm going to go and blow my nose, and I shall be back. I have blown my nose, and I've noticed in a short amount of time, I don't know if you can see the difference in colour between the top there and the bottom there. You can get that red. There's some shadow somewhere. Oh, I can't see where it is. But anyway, there's a definite difference in the juice colours. I'm sure the Americans would use the word stratification. Right. Now, this one here is the strawberries, and the strawberries has got citric acid in it, so I don't need to add any citric acid, but I will need to add some citric acid into this now. I don't know how you lot want to do this, but I think there's enough acid in apples as it is, but this is what I do, generally 1/4 teaspoon. Now I do that, and the only reason I do that is because if you take a teaspoon of this stuff, I'm sure it's far too much, but hey, there you go. That's my 1/4. If I brought my little bundle down, then I wouldn't get it all around the outside. There you go. just as a dare, everything left on the side. Like your own fizzy cola bottles. Actually, it's a very good point. Wow, hang on. Yeah, don't try that at home, children. When I was making my elderflower cordials, there is a requirement that you put 50 grams of this stuff in, which you can see is a whole one of those. And I was thinking that's a bit heavy, but once you've put 1.5 kilos of sugar in, about a demi-john's worth, so 4 litres, it's not as bad as you think it would be. I think it would be like really sharp, but to the point of I think it needs a little bit more, the one I'm doing, but I'm going to do another one. So I've recently bought about 6 of these because I think I'm going to go through them because the amount of elderflowers I'm getting now, because it is wonderful stuff. So anyway, back to the TC. So what do we need to do? Oh yeah, yeast. There we go, that's been going for a little while and it's fizzing and popping away. So I'm going to give this a stir with a spoon. So simple as that. This is the balls. You really do need this stuff. I'll take that off of there. And right, let me see that in there. It's all thickened up quite nicely, so I'll give it a little stir because there's always going to be a bit that's caught on the outside. And give it a little stir, a little bit of an aeration. Leave that there for a second. Second funnel. Again, don't forget to do the outside of the funnel and the inside of the funnel, because the outside touches in around the neck. So that goes in there. Always remember to put that in something which is sterile. Yeah? I actually got a what do you call it? A fish steamer. That's really handy for all of your racking canes and siphon tubing, because it's quite big. Fill it up with a bit of star sand and then just give it a little bit of a spray. But you got this. This is the way to go. So hang on to the spoon, and that goes straight in there. This one smells really quite bready. Get all the stuff on the edge. There goes. A little bit left. Bonus is my wife isn't going to moan at me because I'm not messing the kitchen up. Right, there you go. So I'm going to use my funnel again. Stick that in there. Make sure there's adequate in the lock. And shake off. Pop it in and off we go. So, what have we got? I haven't forgotten, that needs yeast. I have yeast indoors ready for that one. Nice 775, courtesy of Mr. Lake. And let me go down like that. And you can see that's gone quite red already. So I shall now go and place those in my incubator, which is set at 19 degrees, and let that tick over, and we should probably expect some activity very soon. This here, I'm going to have a little look, because there's a certain amount of pectin within strawberries, because that's what makes jam set. So I'm curious to whether I should go for pectin more pectinase in there. So. Ah, there you go. Always something you forget in that yeast. So I do need my funny. Well, yeast nutrient, sorry. Now yeast nutrient I like to use what I do is, which is a teaspoon. So, simplest and easiest way. Yes, see look, do things in the garden, you get a little fly in there because he's thinking, oh I like that. That ain't no good. So, I shall spare you the drama of me placing a yeast nutrient in both. I shall make the decision before I go off video to put pectinase in there as well. I will, definitely, because that's what makes jam set. So therefore, mind you, I don't mind cloudy here. So, what can I recommend? I recommend you have a little sup of something. This is not turbo cider, but it's very good. I might actually try a lemon go. Oh, too much sugar in that. But. So, happy brewing. Catch you later. That's quite a good tune, that. Bit of bleeping and squeaking. Catch you later. Bye bye.